Squad is an early access, first-person military shooter designed to provide the player with a realistic experience by combining the strengths of hardcore military shooters and arcade shooters. This game tries, and I think very successfully, provides an immersive experience as well as a fun playthrough for all players. Gameplay in Squad mostly consists of ground combat between multiple infantry units composed of 9 players. These players can choose a variety of weapon classes and vehicles in order to increase the effectiveness of the squad. Some of the weapon classes include Squad Leader, Medic, Grenadier, Light Anti-Tank, Heavy Anti-Tank, Marksman, Rifleman, and Automatic Rifleman. All of these classes report to the squad leader because he communicates and directs infantry movement with the other squad leaders in their squads. They also coordinate where to put forward operating bases and rallies, which allow teammates to spawn near the battlefield so they do not have to run absurd distances. In order for the game to progress, squads must maneuver to complete various objectives, which include capturing capture points, destroying weapon caches, or depleting enemy tickets and reinforcements. These games are played in various maps with ranging environments and game modes which differ from server to server. In order to win, a team must meet a certain win condition. An area is secure. Teams must coordinate to capture objectives, which, when captured, deplete enemy teams' tickets. The game is complete when all of the enemy team's tickets have been depleted. Squad's other game mode is Search and Destroy, in which a team must search out enemy caches and destroy them with thermite. Once all have been destroyed, that team wins the match. To conclude, Squad's gameplay, when combined with the sound design and graphical capabilities, create an immensely entertaining experience, which make those who play immersed into the firefights and focused on completing the objectives in order to achieve victory. When it comes to sound design in Squad, it is simply just brilliant, to put it lightly. Every sound is detailed and presented like the graphics mentioned before in meticulous detail. Everything from character movements, gunfire, bullet snaps as you're being shot at, or explosions is recorded and implemented with factors such as distance playing a role in what you hear. The player is able to hear the battlefield around them, recreating the feeling of what it would be like to be in combat. Squad does a perfect job in recreating the confusion caused by loud noises in combat, making it difficult to hear teammates, adding to the immersion of the player's experience. But one of the downsides of the sound design comes with the voice communication in the game. There are 3 channels which the player can interact: local chat, squad chat, and command chat, which is reserved for squad leaders. These channels, when all having speakers in them simultaneously, makes it very hard to distinguish commands, enemy callouts, and random banter, though this could be interpreted as adding to the confusion of the battle. All in all, the sound design, especially when it comes to weapons, ambience, and scenery, as well as vehicles, are done magnificently and are a big plus for the gamers looking for an immersive military shooter. Squad is a very realistic game, and thus the graphics are also designed to be that way. The textures in the game are very detailed to look like the environments that the maps are based from. Everything from bushes, buildings to the ground itself are meticulously created and applied. This principle also applies to the game models, whether it be in-game models or character models. Each model is created for each faction in detail, further adding to the realism of the game. Though my footage may say otherwise, my computer is a bit out of date, but the game looks fantastic on medium to high settings, which most other computers can run with ease. With saying that, you are going to have a medium to high-end computer if you want to make this game look its best. But the great graphics come at a cost, and thus one must either sacrifice money for a good computer or graphics or smoother gameplay. One of the few downsides that this game has, because the graphics are not yet optimized. Given the variety of maps and game modes to play, the continued development and addition of content, as well as the dynamic situations players encounter in a game, I'd say that Squad has a lot of replayability. With the right squad, one can play for hours straight because of the variance in the firefights you get into with your teammates. For example, in one game you could be clearing building to building with a friend of yours, and then in the next be in a firefight in the woods where you don't know where you're getting shot at from. Also, I think with the addition of new vehicles and maps, players I think will want to come back to this game and see how these additions change the dynamics of this game, and how firefights are effective with these additions. Unfortunately, Squad is an early access game, which means only the multiplayer functions are available for use at the current moment. As of now, there are no story functions in the game, and as far as I've seen, no mentions by the developers to make one. But that doesn't mean that there necessarily isn't any room for one, and I definitely think that it can be fantastic if done right. In my personal opinion, I think that Squad is probably the best military shooter on the market at the moment. I think that it seamlessly bridges the gap between hardcore military shooter players as well as the casual gamers who are looking for something more hardcore. The impeccable sound design combined with great graphics and immersive combat creates an overall great experience for gamers and one that I personally love and enjoy.